Alright, what's up guys? Today I'm going to do something a little different and talk to you about my Galaxy's Edge lightsaber from Savi's workshop. So let's do it. Alright, so full disclaimer before I get started. I'm going to be breaking this thing down, showing you all the parts, pieces, how everything fits together. I might show you a little bit of video from the actual building experience, but I want to leave most of that kind of a mystery. It's kind of a sacred Star Wars fan experience, in my opinion. And I'd hate to spoil that for anybody that wants to do the Savi's workshop build themselves. But I'm going to talk about all the different pieces of it, how it comes apart, how it goes together, how you can change out the color crystals inside of it, how the blade fits on, all that kind of fun stuff, and just some of my thoughts on the general construction of the Savi's workshop lightsaber. So first thing you should do if you want to build a lightsaber in Savi's workshop is definitely plan ahead. Now this is something I didn't do a very good job of, but you can make reservations to build a lightsaber up to I believe it's 180 days in advance. I tried to do mine about 2 days in advance, got on the website, tried to reserve a time, and there was no times available whatsoever. And I kind of started to have a little bit of a panic attack because that's about all I wanted to do on my Disney trip, was build a lightsaber. I ended up doing some research online. I saw a few different places that said you can get in if you just go ask one of Savi's helpers, say, hey, do you have any openings, any cancellations, anything? And a lot of times somebody will cancel, they have extra room. That definitely was not the case, at least at the Disney World location that I went to. Maybe it's different at the other Savi's workshop. But I went up and asked, hey, you guys have any cancellations or anything the first day I was there? And they said, no, reservations only. So they turned me away pretty quick. But I kept refreshing the page, kept refreshing the reservation calendar, and eventually I was lucky enough, somebody canceled and I was able to get in. The first thing you'll do when you show up for your reservation time, you'll check in with one of Savi's helpers. They'll bring you to kind of the front desk area. So at that time, you'll pick from one of the four kind of themes you build a lightsaber around. There's Peace and Justice, which is your more like Obi-Wan, Anakin, Republic era type lightsabers. Power and Control, which is a little more aggressive. A lot of people like to build their Sith or red or purple lightsaber out of Power and Control. Elemental Nature, which is the one I went with, which is a lot more nature themed. I'll get into more of the individual pieces in my theme in a minute. And then Protection and Defense, which is more sort of Old Republic theme, which was what my brother actually went with, and it was very cool as well. So you pick out which theme you want to go with. They give you a pin that you wear on your chest to reflect that. I get the Elemental Nature one. Obviously it looks very cool, a little bit of weathering around it, makes it look a little rusted. And that's just so Savi's helpers know to give you the right pieces. When you get in there, you get one hilt, which is kind of the main chassis inside of my hilt here. I kind of call this the hilt, but the inner workings, they call it the chassis when you're in there. You get 4 different sleeves to pick from. You end up with 2. So this bottom piece here, top piece here. There's 2 different emitters to choose from. I went with this sort of symmetrical nubby one right here, and then 2 pommel caps to choose from, and 2 activation switches to choose from. Now I heard, at least I read online, that after you build your Savi's lightsaber, you can go into the antique shop and buy more pieces, more parts if you want to swap them in and out and stuff. I did not see that, nor did I really pursue that. I kind of felt like, these were the pieces that called out to me at the time, and this is what I was, my lightsaber was destined to be just like this, and I wanted to keep it like that. With one notable exception though, the Kyber crystal. So the Kyber crystal can be swapped out in these lightsabers. The blade is all the same. The Kyber crystal tells it what color it is, and so I wanted to pick up a couple extra ones of that. In the actual build, blue, green, violet, or red, I went with green. I thought it fit my nature theme very well. Green is more traditionally sort of your Jedi counselor, more force wielding Jedi, and I thought that'd be kind of a fun route to go with the nature theme. So let's kind of break it down a little bit. The activation of the lightsaber, how it looks, how it sounds. The blade just kind of clicks in, twists on like that. Beautiful green illumination, good sounds as you can hear. I've noticed it's kind of hard to get it It has like a hit, there it is a little bit. The blade flashes, makes a little hit sound. It's not every time, but that's fine with me because I'm not really using this thing to like duel with or spar with or anything. It's more of just a display piece for me. I also bought a display stand as well as the belt clip as well to clip the hilt on. If I ever wanted to walk around with it for some reason, I guess if I go to Star Wars Celebration or something like that, I'm sure I will bring it along with. But that's it. Very happy, very pretty, very well balanced. If you can see, the balance point is really like right where you're holding it with your front hand, so very easy to do different twirls, twists, whatever you want to call them. I don't got any names for lightsaber moves, but they're very, very easy to pull off, very balanced. All metal parts, except for my Rancor tooth here on the bottom is a plastic tooth. Very heavy, very well constructed. Again, the blade very easy, press down, twist off, and you just have your hilt again. Let's start taking this thing apart. I'll kind of show you guys how that works, what all the pieces look like, and how it all goes together. All right, so here's the hilt on its stand. The stand is very nice. They ask you right up front as soon as you check in if you want to buy the stand and the belt clip, all those things. And of course you do. Why not, right? You want to get the full experience in. The stand is very nice. You sort of adjust the supports based off what lightsaber you built. Some of the different pieces are a little more angled or something like that. You can put different sized supports on there. So first off, the emitter just twists off. All the pieces are threaded on. Makes it very easy to break this thing down. There's your emitter right there, at least the one that I chose. Sleeves as well, both just slip off. Pommel, Rancor tooth for me. Everything's just threaded on. The pommel's a little squeaky for me for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. But there it is, mostly broken down. You can see it's glowing green because of my green Kyber crystal in there. Activation plate just pulls apart. It feels like it's magnetically held together. I'm not 100% sure. But there's not really a locking mechanism or anything, so it has to be magnet in my opinion. And there's the beautiful Kyber crystal right there inside of what I'll call the chassis. But this little boy just pops out. There's the Kyber crystal by itself. All the pieces broken down. So I figured while I got it apart, I might as well swap the Kyber crystal out just to show you guys kind of how all that works. Like I said, I got green at the time I was building the saber, and then I went to the antique shop and I bought both yellow and white as well. I kind of thought those were cool, unique colors. There's also blue, violet, red. It'll be pretty tough for me not to just order those online and complete my little Kyber crystal collection. But for now, I think I'm going to swap in yellow. It's pretty unique looking. The white kind of just looks like a big long flashlight, but I mean, it's white. What more do you want? So there's the yellow Kyber crystal. Very beautiful, very cool. I'll show you the white one as well, because why not? But the way these work, if we're talking in, you know, Earthling terms here, it's RFID, right? So you just put it in, the chassis recognizes which RFID chip is inside. That's what it is. They work with the Savi's lightsabers. They don't work with any of the legacy lightsabers. If you want to make a yellow Ahsoka lightsaber or something, not gonna happen. Those are just set with whatever color, like Ahsoka's are white. Windu's is violet, so on and so forth. The only other item they work with from Galaxy's Edge is the Jedi and Sith holocrons. I'll show you guys that another time, but you pop the Kyber crystals in depending on what color. They give you a cool voice line, like my green one, for example, gives me a little wisdom from Master Yoda. Very cool. There's different voice lines you can kind of collect, swap, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, back to the lightsaber hilt. I'm just going to pop in the yellow Kyber crystal. There's sort of two holes you have to align. Makes a cool sort of activation noise. You get your Kyber crystal in there, and then it lights itself up. Very symmetrical, very firm in place. You can't shake it out of there or anything if you're dueling or flipping around, whatever you do. So as you can see, the little lights glowing yellow. It recognizes we got a yellow crystal in here now. We're ready to rock. So the first thing you put on with your Savi's lightsaber is your activation switch. On the insides of them, there's a red and a blue square. You just line those up with the chassis. There's a red and a blue right there on the chassis. Just pop that on, pop the other one on, and your activation switch is ready. You can actually activate it now. It makes a little, malfunction sort of noise since there's no blade on it. It's really actually good to go right now. I could put the blade on this and it'd turn yellow. I could wave it around, do whatever. It's not that cool looking. It's not a lightsaber. So next you pick out your sleeves. Again, you get to pick from 4. You get to choose 2. I went with the Bylark tree, the kind of a wood grain in a design. Seemed to fit my nature theme very well. That just slides on over the end and twists onto the activation plate. Very secure and kind of helps hold that activation plate together. Same with the other sleeve. I went with this one. It says on the website it's supposed to be Cartesian whalebone. It kind of has a whalebone aesthetic to it. Very cool. So same thing, twist onto the activation plate, and now all 3 of those parts are on there, very secure, and it's already getting kind of weighty. You can already tell it's a pretty heavy lightsaber hilt. Next you pick your pommel. With my theme, there was the Rancor tooth. There was another pommel, which, to be honest with you, I don't even remember because I was dead set on this Rancor tooth. Like, how dope is this thing? That screws on to the bottom of your hilt, and that's also where your belt clip clips to that little black circle right there. But that's actually threaded on to the chassis itself, where both the sleeves are threaded on to the activation plate. The only problem with that I can see is that it's a metal part threading onto the plastic chassis. I think if you got things misaligned or were doing this a lot, you could probably do some damage to that plastic thread. But I haven't seen any of that myself yet. Lastly, we have the emitter. I got to choose between this symmetrical one and one kind of asymmetrical with some designs on it and stuff. I like the symmetrical one myself, but again, same thing, just threads onto the plastic threads there. I'd be pretty cautious about over tightening that or anything like that that might damage those plastic threads. But that's all there is to it. Now my hilt is fully assembled again, ready to accept the blade. Again, the blade just pushes on, twists into place. Again, the blade just pushes on, twists into place, kind of makes a cool sound when you twist it on there. And then we got ourselves a beautiful yellow elemental nature lightsaber. Alright, so that's the breakdown of my hilt. Kind of a disassembly, reassembly for you there so you can see it come apart, go back together, kind of see what the parts look like, how it's assembled. As far as the actual experience, as I mentioned, I don't really want to give away too much about Savi's workshop. It's kind of a well-kept secret, and I want to keep it that way. It's a very, very cool experience. So, would I recommend Savi's workshop to any Star Wars fan out there? Oh, hell yes. I mean, this was damn near a religious experience for me, and I'm not even kidding. Savi's workshop was amazing, and for $200, I mean, having your own, like, such a well-built saber. Very, very, very cool experience. I cannot recommend it enough. Like I said, it's one of the cooler things I've done in my life. As a complete Star Wars fanboy, I say, get yourself a Savi's lightsaber. I'm actually planning to go back to Galaxy's Edge later this year, and I'm saving some money up so I can get myself a second Savi's lightsaber. I kind of want to build a Sith one, a power control themed, cool red, purple lightsaber, stuff like that. Kind of have the duality of the Force, if you will. But that's all I have for you guys today. This is my first review video. Let me know how I did down in the comments. Let me know any questions you have about Savi's workshop, Galaxy's Edge, Rise of Resistance, the ride, anything really. If you got some value out of this video, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. Check me out on Twitch. I play a lot of Star Wars games, talk a lot of Star Wars stuff. I'm a big Star Wars fan, if you couldn't tell. So, thank you very much. My name is Josh. My channel's second playthrough. I'll see you guys all next time.